Everyone is welcome here, it's time to make new friends. Aquavide Uskava, fill your Glencairn. Share a dram with the spirit of Edmonton.
Slancha! And good evening, whiskey brothers, sisters, friends, and welcome to episode 78 of the Canadian Whisky Journey's Whiskey Review. I'm Dolph, the creator of the Canadian Whisky Journey. I'm the Spirit of Edmonton on social media platforms, and your host tonight. We're continuing our Canadian Whisky Journey with the newest release. So this is release number 9 from Sons of Vancouver and Rolling Hills in the Morning Mist. So I'm reviewing this on a Monday night, and it's very different. Usually it's Tuesday because I received this Friday. I want to give everyone a heads up that it's available Saturday the 17th at the distillery at 1 o'clock. Well, I think it's there earlier, but 1 o'clock online at least. Now, the whiskeys from the Sons of Vancouver do not stick around. They don't. So they go on sale, they sell out. So if you like what you hear tonight, it entices you, you should get on it and get ready to buy one right away before they sell out, because they will. Now, I visited James Lester, one of the distillery's co-owners, in July 2021 at the North Vancouver Distillery. We had a great time talking about his bartending days, touring up. We toured the distillery, toured his neighbor's distillery, and we hung out at the lounge up front, which was one of my favorite parts. Really liked it. And my wife and I spent a little bit of time with him at the Victoria Whiskey Festival. And not just James, but James, Jenna, and Emmett. We spent time with all of them there. Had a fantastic time. The Canadian Whisky Awards, so Davin's Awards. And then also spent some time in their hospitality suite. Probably a bit too much time in this hospitality suite, but we had a great time. And what was even greater is, and really memorable, the suite was, but James helped me out with a certain part of my palate, which I hadn't done before. So we had 5 different pairings, him and I, from 1970s and their new brethren, essentially. So we got to taste these older whiskeys, 1970s, fantastic. So we've got some 52-year-old ones, some 48-year-old ones in there. It was great. Side by side with their new brethren. And just tasting, see how they change. Because even if I tasted it then, I wouldn't have been able to pick out the differences. But having them side by side, I could, and it was fun. All of them were Canadian whiskeys, with the exception of 2. Sorry, we had a Johnny Walker Red, and I did a Glenmorangie without him, but it was out there. So thanks to these guys for that, because it was memorable, something I'm going to keep with me for a while. So as you can guess, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I love it. So let's start on the nose. And they were going for a different thing, James said, a little bit, but I get the Sons of Vancouver caramel and tropical fruit that I've been getting for a while. And I've been bugging him to try to nail down his distillery style for me, if he could pick it out. And I think I can. And I think this is the smell of it. So this is very caramelly for me. And the tropical fruit is the hint. Now, this is, it was in a barrel from Northern Ireland, and they say right up front, it's not going to have the traditional Islay flavors that people are looking for when they say Islay. And I have to agree, because the smoke, the peat's not there until I put the water in. Now, I did that before. I don't have water in this one right here. I'm trying different glassware as well. Let's see how this goes for me. But yeah, it's all caramel right off the front. It's caramel, 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 and the hints of the tropical fruit. My wife says briny, and I think that's what they're going for. And I'm having a hard time picking up a briny on the nose. So, and James saying the mineral content, but I'm not getting that. I'm not getting it past the caramel, which I like, so it's good for me. So caramel, tropical fruit for me, a little bit of briny from my wife, and with water, you get the hint of smoke. But I'm not putting water in this. And I had to put quite a bit. This wasn't a couple drops. It was probably like 7 or 8 drops, which is a lot more than I usually do. Okay. That's a fantastic mouthfeel. Whew. Yeah. And I'm not commenting on it yet. I'm going to have my second sip before. I have to wake up the taste buds a little bit. That's what you got to do. Still leads with the sweetness. So the sweetness comes first, but then maybe just because I'm used to it, I'm getting the herbal, close to flowery rye notes that I love from these guys. And I'm still looking for the salinity. I'm still looking for the brininess. And it's not coming out for me. Now, it might for other people, because maybe I'm just not able to pick that up as much. And the Orkney whiskeys that this is more prevalent with, I don't get that on that either. What I did get from them, it's kind of cute. We got a pet rock. So they do this when they send things out. You get a cassette for a road trip. You get pieces of some types of dried fruit, and this is what I got this time. There's like a whole bunch of things that I could decorate my pet rock with, and we've decided to call the pet rock Fred Flintstone. They suggested some names. They said Rocky Balboa, Emma Stone, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Rockathy, Mick Rockerson, Meryl Streep, Mineral Streep, sorry, and Kevin. They always have to do something just out there for a little bit. So that's it. It's fun. And they said maybe lick the rock and get the salinity out of that, and nothing. No. My pet rock is not salty. All right. So, yeah, let's see if I get anything else on the. I'm still looking for a little bit of smoke on the palate. I'm trying to find it. And maybe a heathery light smoke. I need to go for that. I'm not getting the briny that I'm told I'm supposed to get. I'm not the salty, but I'm going to go for the heathery, light smoke. And that's at the back of my throat. That's coming out. All right. Finish. Sweet. So sweet's the first thing with everything. The flowery spice, the herbal spice I get. So I'm not going to say flowery. It's herbal, which lends itself closer to flowery. You get a little bit of the heat. It's a powerful one too. It's 59.5%. So it's got a bite to it, but the bite doesn't come in first, and then it subsides, and then you get sweet again at the end. So sweet to the herbal peat, not a white pepper peat at all. No part of that's white peppery at all. And a little bit of heat at the back of the throat, but then the sweet comes in again, and you're all just salivating. It's fantastic. And yeah, how we doing, Stephen and Chris? How we doing? Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for doing this. Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully, you've had a chance to taste Sons of Vancouver for Canadian whiskeys, because they're doing a great job, and there's certain pockets where they're doing beautiful jobs with whiskeys, and they tend to become my favorite. And these guys, Odd Society, Douglas, and two brewers out there on the west of us, and in here in Alberta, we've got 3, 4 here that are just so they're coming alive. And going west, there's just so much Canadian whiskey that everyone has to try. So, yeah. So overall, mark your calendars. get in line if you have to. Well, if you have to. North Vancouver is a fun thing to do. Get in line, go there, have some drams, go for some beers a couple blocks away. It's all fun. Great job, Jenna, James. Max, I didn't see you, but at the Victoria Whiskey Festival, but I was looking forward to it. And Emmett, always a pleasure talking to you, sir. These guys are fantastic. If you haven't tried them before, get in line, get on, and 1 o'clock Pacific time. So it's going to be 2 o'clock our time in Alberta. And if you're in Ontario and you got to try this, because some of you guys come in, some of my owls in Ontario, you should do this. Come in 4 o'clock your time. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Cheers. And I shall see you all again next week. Whew.